All right, guys, this is the new project. 2002 Harley Davidson F150 supercharged. I've took a few things out of it so far. Probably should have made a video in the beginning. But just got this yesterday. It's in pretty good shape, but it's going to need some magic. As you can see, things like this, little things. Probably going to put a roll pan on the back, just take the bumper off. Because everything on this truck I have found is pretty expensive to replace. So I'm going to try to keep it as stock as possible. Looks like it had been up north for a little while, a little bit of rust underneath. Nothing that's eat through anything, just that sign that it's been in the salt, maybe just from a visit or two up there. It don't look bad at all, but it didn't get the wheels. There's a little bit of chrome peeling on the inside of one of them, but the wheels still look really good. This is the four-door with the 4 captain chairs. I wish I was in better lighting. It's dark and kind of wet outside to be a daytime. Seats are in pretty good shape. Carpet's in really good shape. He had used Husky liners, which I'm going to ditch because they look like crap. Not many scratches, but normal wear and tear on the inside. And as usual, with a Ford seat, that's what the driver's side looks like. But luckily, I know an upholstery guy who's going to get that going right there. Had a system in it. I'll walk to the other side. Also, I took the Harley Davidson mat out. It's still in good shape, and there was no rust so far under the, no signs of any damage under that, which is good news to be 18 years old. And not many scratches, not too beat up. I was worried about that since I thought the guy might have used this for work, but looks like he took pretty good care of it. So I'm going to rhino line the back of this. And I'm going to take this tailgate to a body shop and let them work their magic. Also, something hit it up here when it got hit with a trailer being unhooked before it was unloaded. Things like that. I'm trying to decide whether or not I should take this flame strap off because it's starting to come off anyway. I just don't know what it's going to look like under there from any fading. Got to make that decision. It had visors on it that I ripped off because they were just brittle and faded. Window tint's going to have to be redone. It's starting to come off, and it looked like to not be a real good job in the first place. Headlights and corner lights definitely are going to have to be replaced. I don't know what happened to the original fog lights, but these are some $10 Walmarts that they manufactured on there, and don't know how those scratches got there. It doesn't make any sense, but going to have to take those off and either replace them or just leave them off. Engine, well, I got to go to this other side marker. As you can see, it's just missing its lens. A little dirty, dusty. I found one leak at the transmission, hadn't figured it out yet, and the PVC system is pretty gooey. The boost actuator is gooey. A lot of buildup in there from not having a catch can, which do not understand why Ford, and if anybody can tell me, or any supercharged car doesn't come with a catch can that I've had so far. Even Roush kits don't even come with a catch can. So I had to spend $300 from JLT. And then sold the car. But anyway, it's dirty and dusty, but not leaky. 215,000 miles, so pretty good shape. The guy had a system put in, and I'm sure it's several years ago because it wasn't a touchscreen, double DIN. It just looks like in maybe 5, I don't know, maybe older than that, 10-year setup, 210s with all Rockford Fosgate amp and door speakers. It sounds pretty good, but had a single DIN radio. It's laying over in the floor. And it would work when it wanted to, so it just gone now. I'm going to get all this cleaned up and take it to the mechanic and make sure nothing's too bad. But it runs out pretty good. Got some good supercharger wine. And just make sure everything's good. I think the battery's about had to lick. I bought it yesterday in the rain. Didn't leave it, the lights on for long while we was looking at it, run the battery dead. We jumped it off at the same time I closed the door, and it locked itself, so we had to break into it. It was just a mess. But anyway, it's a $6,000 project. And I think to myself, well, it's supercharged, $6,000 for a fairly nice truck. And some people pay more than that for a used four-wheeler. So anyway. Oh, I was going to show the system. Rockford Foggate. It's got some pretty good little bump. It's just enough where it ain't too obnoxious. But if you pull this, there's where all the magic comes from. 2 10s. Me and my son can't figure out why they didn't do one on each side, one behind each seat, or just maybe 112 behind the console so it wouldn't pushed up against the seat. But I wasn't involved in that. But looks like it was done pretty good except for the wire quality. I don't understand why they had this big amp and used 10 gauge, might even be 12 gauge power wire. I mean, if you're doing it, go ahead and use 8. Just bump it up a little bit since you're spending that time, in case you want to add to it also. But it looks like it was done correctly. I can see a few wires here and there, but I have to pull the seats up to see them. It was done nicely, a lot nicer than a lot of systems I've saw in the past, where you look like, you know, Oompa Loompas with Ray Charles did it. Anyway, shocks are gone. I just don't understand why people have nice vehicles like this and they just, when stuff breaks, they just don't fix it. I don't get it. And also, when I locked it up, I was like, oh, that's great. He knows the code, but he didn't. Had the car for 8 years and didn't even know his own code to get in it. Door panels look good. I got to replace this. I mean, it's like a knife, that chrome peeling off. I think I'm just going to go with black. I just don't like chrome. That's what that looks like now that I pulled the old radio out. This information center, as usual, wasn't working, so I got to figure that out, either buy another one or figure out how to fix it. This will push in, but won't push back out, so I'm about to pull it out. For some reason, they put the bass knob sideways there instead of just putting it in maybe here. I took the CD changer out, by the way. It's throughout somewhere. The hell uses CD changers anymore anyway. Plus, it took up half the room in there. But all in all, the truck is in pretty good shape. It's manageable. I love projects. I love taking something that needs help and making it back as new as possible again. I do like the truck. It rides really good. It's really smooth. Shifts good. Got good power, especially once I get everything worked out with the engine and supercharger. I'm sure it's got more to be unleashed. But besides that, I wanted to make this video kind of for me later when I look back at what I've done. You know, here's another thing I don't understand. I guess it's just a Ford problem. I'm thinking it had a cover on it at one time. There's 2 of these spots, a bed cover. I'd like to get a flat one that pushes back, not rolls back, or a trifold. One thing I don't like about them is you still lose part of your bed. This is a pretty short bed. But I want to, if I go on vacation or anywhere, that I can lock stuff under that bed, like our luggage or whatever. If we stop at the gas station, people crazy now, they'll take your stuff. But see this? It's come loose for some reason. And I don't know, there's no damage anywhere else to prove that it got hit by something. It's just some few poor qualities to have been a $40,000 truck in 2002. A lot of F150-ish kind of stuff on a $20,000 truck at the time that they could have upgraded to have been a more expensive truck and put the Harley Davidson name on it, supercharged. The interior was I would still say, kind of out of date in 2002. They were still using the 98, 97. You know, they could have, they did some touches like this gray panel right here, and the seats are great. They're not that comfortable. I think they need some more cushion added when I get these redone. But as far as the consoles and the seats in this thing, and the 4 seats is great, except when you got 3 kids and a wife. I don't know where the third one's going to sit. And it does have a sunroof. But as far as the dash area and the steering wheel, they could have did like a Harley Davidson something style steering wheel, or, you know, a little more to make it not look like an F-150 from the front over, you know. Maybe even a Harley Davidson emblem here. I mean, something when you're paying almost twice as much in 2002 for a vehicle. Damn, radio's still getting in my way. You know, to show when somebody got in this truck, it was like, damn, this thing's bad. I think they did a good job with the wheels in 2002. You know, I think they, you know, they wasn't thinking about black back then, but I'm going to get them powder coated black. I'm either going to remove this silly, I don't know if it's a step bar just for looks, but as you can see, you don't step on that. There's just not sticking out far enough. It's useless. I don't know why they didn't push it out a little bit further. I guess they didn't want it no wider than the tires, but I'm going to take one of those off to see how it looks, if it looks crazy, because I think it helps with the aesthetic of making it look lower. I'm going to get it done, probably the same color as the truck, get it powder coated. I don't think these mirrors work. I've never saw any like this. I guess they may have been on other trucks, but they had the blinkers in them. I don't know why they're red, but I don't think they work. Probably the bulbs are just burned out. As you can see, the vent shades are still on this side. I think I'm going to leave the top one. I don't like it, but it does help, and it feels like it's on there good, unlike these, or some of these were kind of peeling off at places like here. So that one's up there still good. I'm probably going to leave it. A lot of dirt under it. A lot of dirt under this I'm going to take off, but I'm going to leave it too because it does help with rock chips. Haven't decided yet if I'm going to do a cold air intake. I think I'm just going to leave it the way it is alone. I mean, $300 for nothing. I mean, you basically get this hose that you've already got, adapter for your mass airflow, and I guess the filter must cost $250 because they're $300 for nothing. I mean, I just don't. My mechanic actually hates them, you know, so I'm probably going to leave it, especially since you've got, they did put this touch on there, you know, they did think about that. I think like Roush, they should have done something up here, maybe Harley Davidson or something. There's just a few little touches they could have done to these trucks to, you know, they did do a good job, I think, on the front bumper and the grill. I think that grill, I know Harley Davidson's all chrome, but I'm getting rid of the chrome, as much chrome as possible. That's going to go black. I think I'm going to do dark headlights, smoke, not dark. Anyway, this is it. I'm going to be doing some updates on it. If anybody else has any Harley Davidson advice, things they've done, let me know, because, you know, I need all the help I can get. I think really for me, the worst part of the truck right now, and luckily it's not in a quarter panel, that I've got to figure out, and that's either probably take the fender off with the tailgate and take it to a body shop, is something I've already buffed it. It came out and he never buffed it. There's a dent here, but something started in here. And I think this probably used to be a Harley Davidson. It had an emblem. He probably broke it because something hit and scrubbed right here. I buffed it out. It looked good. And then it caught this. It caught the, and I guess that's where it stopped, but it just bowed this all out, as you can see. Luckily, it's a fender, not a quarter panel, because, you know, can hopefully get that worked out. I don't really want to replace the fender because of the, what is this thing called? The freak fender overlap thingy, whatever. I've lost my train of thought. But anyway, I don't think, my son's got a blue F150 in 98. I don't think those are on there. And yeah, they are too. It has them. And the bad, I do remember now, the bad thing about it is when they repaint them, if they don't pull them off, they're just this, it just don't look good. You get that paint in there. So I'm hoping, I don't know. I mean, they're going to have to paint the whole fender, unfortunately. But that is the worst part. I think as far as fixing things, that's going to make it look better, because that just looks like crap to me. That's just, you know, I would have got that fixed when that happened. Anyway, here it is. I'll be updating. Any help would be great. See you later.